In our industry, it is very important to be able to move people and materials safely at the job site. In fact, mishandling materials is the single largest cause of accidents and injuries in the workplace. Various types of equipment have been designed specifically to aid in the movement of people and materials. Let's start with aerial lifts or man lifts. These are sometimes called cherry pickers or bucket trucks and are powered or manually operated vehicle-mounted devices used to elevate personnel to job sites above ground level. If the worker enters or exits an aerial lift when there's a risk of falling, there must be fall protection, such as proper guardrails and a fall arrest system while you're in the basket or moving between the lift and the working surface. OSHA requires fall protection at heights above 6 feet. MSHA requires fall protection whenever there's a risk of falling. The worker can anchor the lanyard to the lift if it's designed for that, or to an appropriate nearby structure. There are usually 2 sets of controls on a manned lift. One upper set on the platform or basket within easy reach of the operator, and another lower set on the boom or truck. The lower controls override the upper controls and should not be used without the permission of the person in the lift, except in the case of an emergency. Not all sites have a crane or crane operator. For those sites that do, a best practice is to have a fully trained and certified operator. Make sure the crane is on stable and level ground. Use outriggers, if possible, for stability. When you level the crane and position the outriggers, hoist the block as close to the point sheave or anti-tube blocking limit as possible. Make sure all employees and others in the area are kept clear of loads that are about to be lifted and of the travel area of the suspended loads. Rope off or use caution tape around the area that will be under the suspended load. Once the travel area is clear of hazards, figure out the weight and height of the material being lifted and determine the safe angle for lifting. Make sure you do not overload the crane. A load limit chart should be posted in the cab of the crane. Properly rig the load for lifting. Make sure your hands or fingers are not between the sling and the load while the sling is being tightened around the load. Workers must be trained on the proper use and operation of the equipment. If you are trained but aren't familiar with the specific equipment at the site, be sure to read the manufacturer's instruction manual and be task trained on its safe use before using the lift.